this is Yusef with Team Zephyr playing Blue-Black Teachings. The best thing going on in this turn is that I have a turn to think twice. I'm gonna mulligan. Not really much better, but I suppose I'll have to keep it. I mean, at least the nice thing about this hand is that I actually have something to do once I get to enough mana. Like a counter spell, or I'm playing versus another blue deck, so hopefully that helps my chances. Um, hmm. I might be up against the mirror match. I mean, Evolving Wilds indicates that he has more than one land and that he tries to delve, so it's either going to be Blue-Black Teachings or Angler Delver. Bajuka Bog. I suppose when you need mana, you need mana. Essence Scatter is a great draw for us here because it means that we can counter some of the stuff that he casts. I want to keep Counterspell alive, so I don't want to play Dimir Aqueduct just yet. Probably just gonna go for a Radiant Fountain. The Aqueduct makes me think that he's teachings more than anything. That back. Okay, probably get rid of Ghostly Flicker because I don't really need it. Mystical Teachings. I'd rather counter what he actually gets with Mystical Teachings, so I'll leave up my counter spell. Capsize. He's probably not going to cast Capsize until he can actually cast it with backup. So let's see. I only have one counter spell in hand. That's not ideal. Oracle. I could play Radiant Fountain, Oracle, try to find another counter spell, but even so, I won't be able to cast it and my second counterspell. So I think it's still a better move. So, because I mean, at the very least, I get a Seagate Oracle out, and I get to increase my card quality. And I guess I get to get a counterspell out of his hand. Alright. I don't have a graveyard because he keeps exiling it, which is actually really good versus me. Is there anything of interest that I want to keep up? Not really, just my regular old counterspell. Okay. He currently has... Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He currently has 7 mana, so next turn he'll actually be able to not only counter, but counter and then counter again. So playing an untapped land is good here, because if he tries to cast his Capsize, I can counter it, and then he'll leave up 2. Okay. If he counters the Essence Scatter here, oh, okay, he doesn't. Alright. Alright. Yeah. So basically what I want to avoid is him going into a sort of buyback phase with Capsize. I don't want him to be able to cast it, buy it back, and then keep bouncing back my stuff. Because if he starts bouncing back my Dimir Aqueducts, that's effectively like bouncing 2 lands. And he can regain control very, very quickly. At this point, if he doesn't do anything by end of turn, I'll just Mystical Teachings. Fortunately, I didn't have a stop on his end step there. That could prove to be a big mistake. Alright, whatever he's casting here, I'll let it resolve and then edict it. Yeah. Okay. Now Mystical Teachings for another counterspell. And now we cast Mnemonic Wall. Well, countering it is pretty much the same effect as, because we're getting it for another counterspell, so to counter it would be kind of losing the point. I mean, we'd have a wall, but it's not worth the risk of him having a negate or something in hand. Or simply the risk of him being able to cast Capsize. You know, it honestly looks like he might mill himself out. Oof. Do I want to counter this? Yes, I do. Oh, and he's got him. No, he doesn't cast his Delver. Alright. Let's see if I can get my big boy to resolve. those Bajuka Bogs are just destroying me. Now I draw the Essence counter. Hmm. Let's see what he gets. A counterspell, of course. uh. Oh, he didn't attack. Well, let's attempt to preordain. Alright, we find a counterspell and echoing decay. We can't do anything with echoing decay, but counterspell is just fine. Capsize, cast with buyback. Yeah, if I counter it now, there's not really much to be gained. Even though he has a counter for it, I'm sure. It still helps to counter it on his turn because I get to untap next turn for what it's worth. Alright, is capsize an instant? Yes, it is. Dispels would be good. Okay. Put preordain on top, disfigure at the bottom. Preordain again. Put think twice on bottom. Preordain on top. Preordain again. Evankar's Justice just does not help. Either does Radiant Fountain. Okay, Chainer's Edict. Mm-hmm. Think twice. twice. Again. Let's think twice. One more time. Okay. Sure. Why not? Let's think twice again. Are you serious? Okay. So of all the cards to draw, I managed to draw Think Twice this many times. Okay, Seagate Oracle is something. Echoing Decay doesn't do anything. They're just Pristine Talisman. Slightly better though, I guess. And come on, Edict. Nope, nothing, nada. Alright, might as well try gaining some life and prolonging the game. Okay, an Edict. Let's see if it resolves. Alright, it does resolve. Now let's play an island, I guess. I'll probably discard Aqueduct and Aqueduct. Because it's just too much value for him if I keep the Aqueducts or I play them. Oh god. Well, I still have a chance to draw more. No, I really don't now. Okay. Let's get rid of that and get rid of that. Yeah, I've had enough. Alright. First of all, let's bring in these curses. Let's bring in the dispels and the negate. Let's leave in our Diabolic Edicts, but take out our Echoing Decays, our Everencar's Justice, our Disfigures, and, two of our Anglers. Yeah, let's also take out these two and put in 2 nil Spell Bombs. I don't know, do I want to take out the last Angler? I think I do. Yeah. And let's see how it goes. Because, I mean, yeah, Angler's just, it's so much harder to cast with his Bajuka Bogs coming down every other turn, and him bouncing them back and playing him again, and it's pretty crazy. But we'll see if we can't get a good start out and getting control early and then land one of those milling enchantments. Yes, I'd like to go first. I would ordinarily not keep this hand in a million years, but I have a turn 1 preordain, so I'm inclined to keep. Besides, it's not like I'm up against an aggressive strategy. Although, I'm debating whether or not to lead with the Dimir Guildgate, because it gives me double blue by turn 2, but I don't... It's better to just preordain, because I don't actually know if I'm going to just randomly draw a counterspell on the second turn. Alright, Guildgate goes to the bottom. Mystical Teachings can stay on top. Alright. Well, it happened. So, I guess I'm playing Guildgate and passing turn. Second counterspell is not a bad draw. Third counterspell is not a bad draw either. This is going to be one of those games where nobody casts anything for, like, the first 2 turns. I'll let him resolve a Think Twice. I don't care about a Think Twice too much. Besides, if my win condition is milling him out, it actually helps. Duress? Sure. Probably going to take the Teachings, because... I mean, what else are you going to take? Oh, he actually took one of the counterspells. Alright. And... Fountain... Maybe I actually should have played Guildgate. Yeah, I should have played Guildgate. Because it gives me access to double counter. Which, against him, I would likely need. Yeah. I'm not about to counter Pristine Talisman. And... yeah, he has a counterspell up. I'll play a Pristine Talisman of my own. As they say, 2 can play at that game. Okay. My counterspell is gone forever. And... there we go. Looks like the time. Okay. So counterspell or dispel. I'm getting a counterspell. Hmm. I'll put mystical teachings on top and preordain on top of that. Ooh, I actually probably should not have preordained there, because it means that I only have access to one counterspell. But I get to Essence Scatter is good, and on second thought, I don't actually need the mystical teachings because I have one in my graveyard. Bajuka Bog. He gets to exile on mystical teachings, but that's fine. Okay. Geist, you get Essence Scatter. Definitely not something I want to deal with, although good sideboard tech, and I'll probably include it in this deck later. And I'll attempt the mystical teachings here, and it resolves. I don't have another counterspell, but I think I'll get an Essence Scatter, since it seems that he hasn't abandoned his creatures just yet. I'm not going to Seagate Oracle because it limits my ability to double counter. And mystical teachings again, this time getting a negate. Okay, now my ability to double counter is far from compromised. Okay. Nihil Spellbomb. Sounds good. And Essence Scatter. And Counterspell. And we have an edict in case he resolves the next one. Let's see, he's 3 minutes ahead of us, which is a consideration. I'm not even going to attack. There's not really much of a point. Pristine Talisman, sure. Evankar's Justice, negate. And counter it. Okay. He has a counter spell. Seagate Oracle. Let's see if we can resolve that. Alright. Dispel and think twice to the bottom. Sure. Mole Drifter, sure. Ghastly Demise, also sure. Edict him now. Okay. And edict him again. Dispel. Just the card that I wanted to see. Conveniently, okay. Capsize, returning that to my hand. Okay. Of all the cards, I couldn't mill his Capsize. And he has another counter spell in hand, too. Ugh. We're just gonna end up going back and forth, trying to counter each other's spells. Okay. Okay. And he's gonna bounce it back, probably. Yeah. Hmm. Might as well keep giving him something to counter. This game's gonna go to time. I know it. let's dispel it. Alright, finally, it ends the cycle once and for all. Always yield, always yield. Yep, and... Alright. We have just a couple minutes left in the game. So, in order to actually win, I think the only thing that we can really do is just try to play as fast as possible. Keep. Essence Scatter. And Curse. Counters it. Sorry if my commentary is somewhat lacking, but I must be as fast as humanly possible. Alright, cast no spell bomb. Aqueduct. Bounce that back. Okay. We're good to go. And Radiant Fountain. Pass turn. At this point, I think the only thing to do is just continually discard. Alright. He's only a minute ahead of us now, a little bit less. Let's cast Pristine Talisman. Pass turn. This is the problem with MTGO, you literally just have no time to make a decision. And, oh shit, I don't have any counter spells. That was a waste of time. Okay. Probably gonna get a counter spell. Yep. I'm just gonna yield. I mean, at this point, if he really, really just wants to kill me, then using capsize is not the way to do it, because I'm just gonna keep drawing into things. Like, he won't kill me in time. Basically, he'll have to keep making plays and lose time, and that's why he'll lose. It's just purely based on time. Okay, he's finally behind us. If he gets significantly behind us, then we might actually be able to make some sort of play. I think I've been silent for the last 20 minutes. I'm sorry, that's really weird. I'm kind of just documenting this because it's part of the whole going infinite thing where you um, where you have, you put your play points into another game, and then you try to make more play points. And so I'm trying to record every game that I play, starting from that initial daily that I had with James. And thank you if you're still watching this. If you're still watching this, you're either insanely bored or you're just really, really fascinated by control mirror matches. And I think my opponent has gone offline, which really, really sucks for him right now. I mean, yeah, he just sent me, like, two ... messages, which I'm guessing means he's not happy. Sure. Actually, oh, I can't do anything with that. Okay. Yield until end of turn. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Huh. Alright. Let's see what he does with this. Mana leak. Sure. Okay. And I'll pass turn. Alright. See if he has a counter spell for this. He does. And I can't play anything. And he wins by 9 seconds. I probably could have played that differently. I was just kind of panicked. That was probably this is probably going to be the worst video on the channel. Of course, nobody's ever going to hear this because nobody's going to watch this video or make it this far, most likely. But nonetheless, I'll upload it. And if you did make it this far, I highly encourage you to like and subscribe because not every match is like this, I swear. Also, just as a coincidence, I happen to have 7 play points in my collection before I started this whole thing, so these 5 play points actually do buy me enough for another round, which is probably going to be the last round that I play Blue-Black Teachings because I've kind of had it with timing out. Anyway, really, really glad if you made it this far. If you didn't, it's fine. You wouldn't have heard this anyway. Anyway, I'm ranting. All right. Thanks a lot. Remember to like and subscribe.